Hello. I hope you can hear me over all the birds singing. It's a beautiful day. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about Momentum Transend E Plus bike that I bought about a year ago. I want to talk about why I chose that bike and what my experience has been with it so far. And also I'll talk about the Transend Vita E Plus, which we bought for my wife about 3 months ago. I'm trying to grow this channel. I've got some positive feedback from the videos I've done thus far, and so I plan to do many more. I ask if you would please subscribe and like this channel if you find it helpful. When I decided about a year and a half ago that I wanted to buy an e-bike, I looked at what was available on the market, and there are so many bikes made by companies I'd never heard of 5 years ago, and I'm not sure that they would be around in another year or two. So I narrowed my search from the beginning to brand name bicycle companies I was familiar with. Companies like Trek, Raleigh, Specialized, Cannondale, and Giant. Momentum is a sub-brand of Giant, and they make 2 or 3 different bikes in a couple of different frame styles. It's a very limited, very specialized brand. So I started out looking at bikes. I rode one hub drive style bicycle, a Townie. I can't remember if that's made by Specialized or Trek, and I was not impressed. When you begin pedaling, it's all you for the first few seconds, and then you feel the hub motor kind of kick in. And if you ease up on pedaling, you can feel the hub motor shut off, and the hub motor felt like it had an on-off switch to it. And it was very jerky, and it really sort of spoiled the fun of cycling for me. So that immediately told me I wanted to go with a mid-drive style bicycle. So I rode a Specialized, a Trek, and a Giant, and I liked the Giant the best. It felt the most natural to me. It felt like it was me riding with a little bit of help, not me riding an electric bicycle. And so I began looking at the Giant bicycles, and I couldn't find the style that I liked. I'm not going to be riding off-road. I've done that in my youth, and I've had fun with it, but I ride on the road all the time now. So I wanted something more of a commuter style, and then when I found the Momentum brand, it had exactly what I wanted. So that's why I chose that brand. Now, I've added a few accessories. I've added the bar ends. I've added the handlebar bag, the seat bag, and the rear rack that you see there. I've changed out the pedals for a slightly larger pedal. And of course, the water bottle cage is an add-on. But even out of the box, that's another thing about the Giant brand that I like. They don't ship you a box. When you buy a Giant bicycle online, it's shipped to the nearest brick and mortar Giant dealer. They assemble and test the bike, and you pick it up from them. So you don't have to put it together, and you have a connection there with your local bike store that's going to be there for you for service down the road. I absolutely love the bike. I've only put about 1,000 miles on it because when the weather's nice, I'm usually doing something else. But I've enjoyed every single mile that I've put on this bike. I'm getting 40 or 45 miles on a charge. It's smooth. It's very stable. Even at high speed, 28, 30 miles an hour, riding downhill or pedaling really hard, it feels planted and stable, and it corners with ease and feels solid. I've ridden some of the electric bicycles that I don't think they would feel that good at speed. I cannot say anything bad about the bicycle. I do want to make a few points. So here's the cockpit of the bicycle. I also omitted a few accessories I did not mention. I've added a quad lock holder here for my cell phone, and I've added light and motion headlight and tail light that are wired into the bicycle. I can't say if this will be the true going forward, but this is a 2020 model, and inside the tube here there is the wiring already installed for a 6-volt headlight, and underneath the motor inside there's a wire already there for a tail light. And control panel you see here has a headlight and tail light switch. Those giant bicycles that come with headlights and tail lights already installed, that switch operates those lights. The Momentum does not come with lights installed, but I thought I'd like to have them, so I bought the 6-volt compatible light and motion headlight and tail light, known as nip and tuck, and I installed them into the bicycle's wiring, so they now function with this switch. The most recent firmware update, when you power on the bicycle, the headlight and tail light come on automatically. I really like that feature, so I forgot to mention those two accessories. Okay, one thing that's unique to the Momentum bicycle is the internal rear hub. You have a 7-speed rear hub here with only one sprocket, as opposed to having a derailleur system with multiple sprockets. It shifts a little differently than what you may be accustomed to. Here's your little grip shifter here, and you just click it to whatever gear you want. 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and it goes up. It has 7 internal speeds. One of the neat things about it is you can change gears at a complete standstill. You do not have to be moving, you do not have to be pedaling. It's wonderful if you abruptly come to a stop in traffic and you're not in the gear you want to start out in, just switch to the gear. The only thing about this system is it really works best if you switch when there's no tension whatsoever on the chain. So you pause pedaling for a moment, give it about a half a second for the motor assistance to also shut down, click to whatever gear you like, and then resume pedaling. So you don't shift while you're pedaling. You also don't do what they call multi-shift. You don't just grab this and spin it. You click one gear at a time, up or down, till you get to your desired gear. Now this is the only cable on the bicycle. The brakes are hydraulic. Cables stretch over time. When you get your bike new, this gear system may get out of adjustment in the first few weeks of riding. It's a simple adjustment to make yourself. You put it in 4th gear and you look down here, and do you see those 2 yellow lines in that window right there? When those lines line up with one another, you're properly adjusted. If your shifting isn't working as smoothly as it should, you adjust this little barrel adjustment here on the shifter until those lines line up when you're in 4th gear, and then everything's fine. That's the only adjustment that I've made to the bicycle. It's so simple I didn't need to take it back to the dealership for that. I did it myself. The brakes are fabulous. They work so well. No chatter, no noise, incredible braking power. I really like the automatic assist control that Giant offers. It uses power assist levels 2, 3, and 4 as it feels are necessary to give you the right power. I think it does a wonderful job. I'll also point out that the Giant system, which is made by Yamaha, works best when your cadence is at about 60 revolutions per minute. So if you turn the pedals, make 1 revolution with the pedals about every second, that's when you get the most help from the assist system. If you go too slow, it doesn't help that much, and you're hard on your knees to strain like that. It's better, don't think of it as riding and using the power of your legs, but use the cadence of your legs. It's like a spin class. If you get your feet going at the right speed, the riding is much easier and more enjoyable, and the bike helps you out. It rewards you for pedaling at the proper cadence. If your cadence is too slow, the power backs off, and so it encourages you to keep the correct cadence. I'm going to talk more about some of the accessories and more features in another video, but this is just an overall review of the bicycle. I absolutely love it. It has exceeded all of my expectations, so much so that we bought a Vita for my wife, which you see in the distance. I'll talk about both bikes and compare them in another video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like.